Thank you very much, Madam Chair. In preparation for this hearing, I contacted the sheriff in a county where I lived and asked him for his thoughts or anything that I might be able to add to the conversation based on his experiences. And this is a statement that he gave me that I'd like to enter into the record. Thank you. As a career law enforcement officer with over 39 years of public service, I applaud the AG Sessions' position to disband those who seek to weaken the criminal justice system with the creation of the National Commission on Forensic Science. Ending a so-called group of advisors made up of attorneys and scientists whose sole purpose was designed to discredit and reject reliable and admissible forensic evidence was the right thing to do then, and it still remains true. What should be discussed is how our federal law enforcement partners can help with forensic funding to expedite the lab submissions and eliminate untimely evidence backlogs. And so, having submitted that, I'd just like to start with Mr. Gamet, ask what you think we can do in that regard to help eliminate those backlogs. I know I've heard some discussion say it takes so much time, but you know, what would be the best way to eliminate the backlogs?
I think there's several issues there. One is in funding, and Coverdale is one of the main options that you have for funding the laboratories. That Coverdale funding goes directly for instrumentation, for personnel, and other things that will directly impact the backlogs significantly. The other thing is in training. What we need is a bridge training to get people from education directly impacting the crime lab turnaround time. So we need a better transition plan to get those students from college into the laboratory. Sometimes it can take 6 months to 2 years to train those people, and that's not helpful when we need to eliminate the backlogs today.
Okay. Now, do you see that we have an adequate crop of aspirants for those positions with an awful lot of TV programs, Neil, dealing with these subjects? I would think there'd be a whole lot more public interest.
We do have a number of applicants for every position that we advertise. Sometimes we have a problem getting them through the background and polygraph process, to be honest, but we do have a number of people that can take those jobs. It's a problem of transitioning them from their college education programs into a very specific niche of science.
Very good. Thank you. Doctor?
You were asking what can be done to reduce the backlog?
Yeah, just your thoughts on it.
So I used to work at Hewlett-Packard Company, and they would continue to, do processes. And what I often found is that when we designed statistical experiments to identify the factors that were affecting the sources of variation and the yield, the percentage of proper products that were being outputted from the process, they actually saved a lot of time.
Okay.
So it was a matter of process control.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ms. Berthet.
I won't profess to know how to clear a backlog. I will tell you that I hear from my friends at the OSBI who complain all the time about their backlog and forensic testing. It's a matter of resources.
Thank you. The Texas legislature has heard the same complaint that your sheriff made from various members of law enforcement around our state, and I'm very happy to report that this year they've really focused on it. They have funded the transition that Mr. Gamet spoke about. They're funding Sam Houston State University, the University of North Texas Health Science Center, to take those students and really get them bench ready faster and more efficiently. They are also dedicating a lot of money to Texas DPS to help them reduce the backlogs. So I think, and they're expecting results. So it will be interesting to see what happens during the interim and the next legislative session.
So the state has taken a lot of responsibility there, clearly.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
NIST has the opportunity to look at the actual processes that are in place in the crime labs. Therefore, we hear from the scientists as to where they actually have the difficulty. Do they need a quicker version of a particular methodology to assist in expediting the analysis of whatever the evidence might be? And we had success with that when the DNA was coming on board, specifically with 9/11. They needed a method that was quick on determining what possible DNA existed in the dust that was collected at the site, so NIST took it upon themselves to look at a different type of methodology or procedure. And we continued to do that and look forward to working with scientists on areas where they need to look at the backlog areas or the little log jams that are in the analysis process.
Well, thank you all for your good answers, and time has expired. I yield back.